Hey everybody, today we are diving into my Squarespace 2025 wish list for blogging features. Now, I want to be clear, I love Squarespace and I'm not going anywhere. But as somebody who uses the platform daily, there are some improvements I would love to see. So let's talk about what can make the Squarespace blog even better. Before we dive into my wish list for the blog, I did want to mention there's something that is not on my list that you think might be. This section uses what's called the Fluid Engine Editor. It lets us do things like position elements a little more specifically. We can even overlap elements if we'd like. But if we go into the blog, and let me just hop into a recent post here, and I click edit, you'll see that I just see these insertion points. So there's not a way to add a new block here. I have to click the plus sign and that pops up my editor. So this is using the old style classic editor. Now you might think I would want to use Fluid Engine Editor on the blog. And I agree. It seems like it makes sense because you want people to learn one editor and not two. However, Fluid Engine is not compatible with RSS feeds, and that's something that blog posts have to be compatible with RSS feeds. So there is a technical limitation there that means that we won't have Fluid Engine Editor for our blogs ever. And this is a really good example of why some features might seem simple, but they aren't on my wish list. And when we understand the technical constraints, we can focus on some improvements that are a little more feasible and hopefully impactful. So let's look at my wish list item number 1. All right, I'm going to click edit here and go into pages and go to my blog. Now, one of the most frustrating recent changes was when Squarespace added this monetization feature for their blog. They inadvertently caused what I think is a pretty major usability issue. Your blog posts used to appear right here. So when you clicked on blog, you would see a list of your posts. And that's not the case now. Now they are hidden behind an additional click that goes into blog content. The problem is that I've had clients who were blogging for a while, and when this rolled out, they panicked. They thought all of their blog posts were gone because this area was completely empty. So, hiding them behind this additional click, or what Squarespace has been calling progressive disclosure, but what I like to call more clicks, is a real annoyance for content creators, and it can be really confusing for Squarespace users. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a workaround for this, but my hope is that a fix is in the works because this is really awkward. All right, my next 2025 wish list item for the Squarespace blog is the ability to easily do internal linking. Now, what do I mean by that? Internal linking is crucial for SEO. So when you link among your blog posts, when one blog post links to another, you're not just helping readers navigate your website, you're actually creating what SEO experts call content clusters. And those help search engines understand your site structure and expertise on specific topics. So, unfortunately, we can't easily create links to other blog posts inside of Squarespace. So, if I click edit here and I want to link to another blog post for It's an Amazing Career Choice, let's just say I want to link to my behind the scenes wrap up post for 2023 year in review. So, I want to link to this post. So, my URL is /blog/2023 Squarespace web designer. But when I go here and I click link and I start typing in blog, there is no way to get to that particular post. I could link to categories or tags, but the only way I can currently link to that post is to grab this URL, make sure I get that first forward slash, come back here, click the link editor, and paste it in. And then I have to tell it not to open in a new tab. So it's really, really awkward. And it's difficult because these are important for SEO. I really want to include them. Now, the thing that makes me think this is a possibility is if we pop over to email marketing and we go to email campaigns, and bear with me, this is going to make sense in a second. I'm going to land the plane. I can actually choose blog here and select the post that I want to share. So there's a way to do it in the Squarespace universe. We can do it in email marketing, but we can't do it inside of a blog. So that is my wish list item two, being able to do internal linking inside a blog post. All right. Two more items that I would love to see addressed this year, 2025. The next one is the Squarespace search block. I've just found that this search process is really clunky for my user, and it often shows things that aren't relevant at all. So, my hope is that Squarespace will fix this search functionality, not just for the blog, but for the website as a whole. In the old version of Squarespace in 7.0, we used to have the ability to add a search block right to the header. And when they rolled out this current version, 7.1, they took that away, probably because it didn't work that well. So, this is something that I would love to see added back to the header of the website and something that I would love to see work well for blog posts. So, in the meantime, I'm using a workaround that works a lot better. It's a much better user experience, and it is called the Universal Filter. It is a paid plugin from Square Tools Pro, but I'll drop a link to that below if you want to check it out. It's what lets me get this really nice category, sort feature, and search feature here, all on the same screen without jumping to another page on the website for search results. So check that out if you're interested, and let's hope that Squarespace makes search work better very soon. All right, we are on my last wish list item for 2025, and that is the date picker. So let's scroll back here to a far in the past blog post for me. And the reason I want to do this is another SEO reason. So the date picker that I'll show you, it's really clunky and it may seem like a minor inconvenience, but when you're trying to update old blog posts for SEO purposes, you have to use the date picker. So let's say I want to rework this post, how to choose a domain name for your Squarespace website. Now, this is still relevant and I need to update it so that it is more in line with what people want to know today. But this is a great base for an article. So I'm going to click edit. Let's pretend I have reworked this article and I'm going to hop into my blog settings, go to options, and for status, I want to update my publication date. I want to let Google and search engines know, hey, this is updated information. Well, I need to get it to January 2025, and there is no way to do that other than clicking these and continuing to click for every month of every year until I get to the current month and year. So that's a lot of clicking. So I want to show you a workaround for that. So Beyond Space Studio has free code called the publication date picker. And what you can do is just grab this code and pop it into your site's footer injection, assuming you're on the business plan. And I'll drop the link below so you can read all of these notes and figure out how to use it best for your website. But what I'm going to do is go to my code injection, going to drop it here in my footer, hit save. So once you've installed that code, if you click this little ground control in the upper left, it's going to let you toggle on the publication date picker and refresh. So now when we go into our choose a domain post and we click edit and we hop into options, we can go into status and we can actually look at a year view. So now I can go all the way to 2025, click January, and go from there. So this makes it a little easier to use which makes me think that Squarespace could actually implement this natively, and that would be a great gift this year.